Hi everybody, well, welcome to this new, I better switch some lights on, just a second. Oh, that's better. Now, it's that time of year again, and even if you're watching this in July, happy Christmas. Well, that's enough of that, we'll get that off. Right, now today what we're going to do, squeaky chair, is photograph old silver. Now, we did something on a watch the other day, and a lot of people said I didn't show them enough on how actually it was done. I've just showed the technique. Well, I'm going to show you now on some old silver. Okay? Good, let's get on with it. This is the piece of silver we're going to photograph, and I've just put over the top of it for now. Don't know if you can see that, but anyway, all it's got over the top is a softbox. So it's quite a big softbox right over the top. Now, really the whole object of this is only to show a technique. I'm not going to bother to take a final picture because it's an old piece of silver that I've just cleaned, full of scratches, etc. But I'll show you why I'm showing it to you. It's just to prove, if you can read that I was good at golf once. So how do we really make silver look like silver? Well, it has to be virtually black and white, unless it's on a background, because if it's on a coloured background it will obviously reflect the colour, as I'll show you now. If I've got it on a black, it will reflect black. Oh, hang on a minute. If I've got it on red, it will reflect red. So if you're going to photograph on a white background, or it's going to be on a white background, really the only colours you can play with are black and white to make it look normal, and greys. Well, that's how I'm going to start. Now, nothing's set in stone. I can move it, but until I see how I'm going to light the top, it's very difficult to see the balance that I'm going to need on the two sides. So we'll leave them like that for the moment. Now we'll work on the top. So with the top, I'd start thinking about a piece of black card in position. So again, I can't possibly set it without my head right in front of the lens, because the slightest change makes it very difficult to work. So I'll have to set that as well, roughly in place. Because again, they'll be roughly in place without the camera running. Now there's a little tip to setting that if you're on your own, and that's to use a television screen. So you link the video or your camera up to a television screen, and you can see exactly what you're doing. It avoids having an assistant who you're saying to the left, to the right, etc, etc. So what I'm going to do is move the softbox. I've moved it but right actually, but I'm going to just swing it forward, and so it no longer reflects in the top, because when it was reflecting in the top I had no control over the light. So now we're going to try and light it in a way behind, from behind, where I can control the light. So I think it's time I had a little recap on the set. This is what it's like at the moment. I've obviously taken the camera off the tripod so I can video. There's our softbox over the top. Not reflecting in the top anymore. Our black card is reflecting in the top. And you'll notice behind I've got a white sheet on the wall, and I'll show you why I've put that there in a second. Now why have I put that white material on the wall? Well, it's very simple. If I go behind the card, you can see my hand reflecting halfway. Well, in fact, the rest of it is the unlit white background. So if I light that background, I can create all sorts of effects in the silver that really make it look like silver. That is a little burnt out. So we bring it down. I'm looking at my camera in my television screen. We bring it down to a nice position where we can get a nice sort of black to white to grey effect, and I think that really makes it look shiny. It also helps lose all the scratches in the back, in the black. I'm sorry about that, but this is an old bit of silver. Now I think one thing that's become obvious is that I'd like to see more of the text. So if I can just move my black card just a little to be able to see it, I can place that exactly as I want. Now I would need to be looking through the camera to do this, and someone moving it for me, because even the TV screen, I don't see enough detail in it from the distance it's away. So I'm guessing that that's where it would be. Now I think that's looking quite good, but again, because of this light, I can really bring it where I want. Now, we're not doing a final shot, as I said. I would need time with someone placing these exactly. The difference between that and that is about half a centimetre movement on the light. So you can see. Now, I was a car photographer for about 15 years in the studio, and this is exactly the way we lit cars. And if you look at car advertising now, of cars in studio, you'll see exactly that technique. Right, now, we were talking about the sides, how to get the sides the same. Well, we've got the card reflecting in the top, we've got the light at the back. Now imagine, I haven't got one. Well, I suppose you could actually stand it on a light stand. If you stood it on a light stand, there's nothing to stop you putting a black card, a white background underneath the white card, and lighting it again. So you could get that same effect, exactly as we used to do with cars. If you notice, a lot of my cars are shot on tables. I know that sounds silly, but to put them on tables. To be able to get the light coming from underneath. But as I said, this video is technique. I'm not saying that was a great shot, we haven't got a great product. It takes a long time and a lot of work to get good silver. Cheers, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about the site or the films. Okay, cheers.